This video is intended to be a bite-sized review of today's Minecraft Bedrock Texture Pack. We're in my world-famous armory save to showcase the design of every block, every armor and weapon piece, a majority of items, and favorite Minecraft mobs. To see the full in-depth review, click the link in the description or head to my main channel and watch the full video. But if you enjoy this bite-sized showcase, hit the like button, comment support down below, and subscribe to this bite-sized channel to keep the content coming. We're in the armory now for the better PvP texture pack, and I think we're going to see a lot of weird textures, a lot of blur, a lot of pixelization as we go through here. There is a few things though that I want to draw attention to as we fly around. So in the thumbnail of the texture pack, you can quite clearly see that there seems to be an updated GUI. And it's not here. It's like a multicolored GUI, which we don't have here, unfortunately. So I'm wondering if something has updated with the GUI, causing it to break in the texture pack. And if that is the case, that's very much a disappointment. And then another thing as well, we'll jump to the side slightly and just come over here. It mentions low fire. That's not low fire. So for a PvP pack, I'm definitely struggling to see what it is we're going for here. And I feel like this may have died a death at this point. As we keep looking through here, so we're seeing a lot of that pixelization that I was talking about with some of the harsher blocks on here. You can also see it on the dragon's head. The egg, not so much, doesn't feel too bad. And then you've got a lot of the other stuff going through here. I really like the browns in the colors that they've gone for. I think they're quite warm. And while there are pixelization and while that X16 texture is really shining through, it's not, although I'm about to say it's not as bad, and then we're looking at like Netherrack here, which doesn't look great. The stone doesn't look great. The ores don't look great. There's a weird kind of transitional effect here as well for the Nether quartz. It's losing me, I think is the nicest way to put it. Oh, more of the copper blocks are actually updated than I thought they were. Okay, obviously the new copper blocks in the new updates not put together. It's not been updated for that. Not been updated since August 2024, like I said earlier in the video. We've also got here the glass. The glass is a good color, not bad at all. And then we've got the bundles, which won't be updated. We've got the colored stuff. So a white, this is white right here. White carpet is actually yellow, but the white bed doesn't keep that consistency in color. We've also come along here as well. So light gray, pretty much the same, not consistent in color across the different color sets. And that seems to be an issue in a few places here where the color is a bit of a problem and doesn't feel consistent across. We saw it earlier in the video in the skeleton blocks, and we've seen it here for a few different colors as well. Got the iron doors there with the non-updated copper doors. We'll pull back and look at the trees and stuff here as well. So we do have transparency in the trees. We've got the bright of the logs here as well. Very bright orange, which seems to carry on through for spruce as well. So oak and spruce, very, very bright. Birch has that brighter but almost softer yellow. It feels like sand as well. Coming on here, we've got the jungle. It's not as noisy as I thought it would be though, which is definitely good. There is elements of noise. I'm not trying to be blind to that, but it's not as noisy as I thought. Acacia here as well with the orange, but the orange of the acacia loses effect because we've seen it already with the oak and the spruce feeling very bright and almost orangey as well. Dark oak on here as well with the darker brown. Okay, that works. I think that works. Haven't quite had that color yet. We've got the mangrove bringing purple into it. That's a harsh decision. Not a fan of that. I'm a fan of the creativity, but not necessarily the implementation. Like a face on the double doors there as well. Do you see that? That's kind of cool. I like that. We've then got the cherry blossom trees here as well. Okay, softer pink, not bad. Looking up at the leaves there as well. Elements of green, elements of pink. The pale oak won't be updated. The bamboo here as well. That feels a little bit harsh to look at. Very prominent though, good shading on that. Fair enough. More purple here this time for the crimson. It's a more deliberate, fuller purple block. Weird to go purple for what should be a predominantly red tree, but okay. Not sure how I feel about that. Although the purple stem there kind of works. It's like a purple stem into the red nether wart. Maybe that works, actually. And then you've got the warped here as well, keeping that consistent blue. Not bad at all. Down here, we go into the concrete powder and concrete. I think there's enough of a change between the two there to signify it both. Good color sets on these, very bright colors. Not bad at all. We'll fly through. We've got the glazed terracotta on here as well. And standard terracotta too. Yeah, okay, good differences on them as well. They're very wacky. There's a bit of blur in there because it's not as polished as the standard textures for Minecraft, like I said before, but there you go. The blue isn't consistent with the skeleton horse, so it's consistent with the skeleton, but not the skeleton horse. That's a shame, and I prefer the skeleton horse to all of the different types. You've got the slime there as well. You've got the honey. Not a big fan of the slime block. The ice and snow, and then the coral blocks here as well. I think one thing though, it's very consistent in its design, which is very, very good. We just keep coming through here for the mud, the dirt, the moss. You see that as well, that again, so looking at, like I said, in the passive mob section, you've got that grayer dirt on the grass block, which I like, mixed in with just the standard dirt, which doesn't make sense, and then into the path, which works a bit better. This is too harsh for me though, of a transition. Tough, not updated, like I said. We then come into deep slate. Not bad, actually. Not bad at all. That's going to make the ancient city very interesting to look at. Endstone and purple. Endstone, not yellow either. Almost kind of egg white in style, or dirty white. The purple, a softer purple as well. Okay. Into the more nether style blocks here. Nether bricks, red nether bricks. Not really much to say about them, in all honesty. They're not bad. They're fine. They do the job. Resin, not updated. Quartz looks all right. I like that. The pillar block, very nice. Just keep coming through here. So yeah, prismarine itself, I'm not the biggest fan of. But this softer color on the prismarine bricks, I like. And that's a unique dark prismarine. I like the elements of blue that have just been like tinted in there. I think that's quite nice. On to, is this andesite? Yeah, it is. Okay, so on to the andesite. Diorite is just a mess. It's an absolute mess. Granite's not too far off from being a mess either, but andesite I think is passable. The sand and red sand, very soft colors. It feels very warm as a pack, which is interesting. The bricks, I like the bricks. The bricks are nice. Blackstone, okay. Not much going on there, but it's alright, I guess. Stone and mossy stone. And the rest of them onto here as well. Cobblestone and mossy cobblestone. Mossy cobblestone does feel like a bit of a mess. The mushroom looks like it's decaying. And then we can see here as well for the flowers. And then we can see pretty much all of the mobs as we go. So you'll see here a lot of whatever's supposed to have variation would have defaulted back to the standard designs. We can see on here, like there's a witch here as well, looking very pale and dead. That face is very, very weird. Like, what's going on? Can't quite tell. Is that 4 eyes or is that 2 eyes? I don't know what's going on there. Very weird. The creaking won't be updated. Pillagers have that kind of weird digitalization to them. There's the skeleton horse as well that I said was quite cool. The allays. I think it's very consistent though in what we're seeing. Oh wow, striders look a bit of a mess. Okay. Into here we've got the armors. I like the little trims around the leather. That looks nice. Chainmail. Yeah, okay, I can go with that. Is that copy and paste on the armors? It's very close, but I don't think it is. Very subtle changes, but at least there's changes in a PvP pack. I like that. Got the turtle helmet there. The animal armors on here as well. Very consistent. And then we can see as well The armor trims. Weird that the netherite trim is actually purple. Okay, doesn't look like they've changed many, if any, of the designs on here, though. Fair dues. Let's get around here and see the hose. It's a bit hard to make out what we're looking at here. Very copy and paste. Obviously, the copper one standing out, so you can see they've changed the model from what the standard one would look like, thanks to that copper one. The shovel, you can also see as well, look, the length. So the weapons are a lot smaller. Let's see the shovel in our hand. It's barely there, which is a PvP staple. So there may not be low fire. There may not be transparent menus, but we do have low weapons. That's good. Let's grab a sword. So if we had this sword on here, the wooden sword is a low sword. How does that work with the copper sword? No, it just sticks right back to how it was before. Okay. I'm a fan of the low swords, though. That's cool. The axes as well. It looks copy and paste to me, which is always a shame. Low pickaxes on there as well. Oh, that's a nice little diamond color. Okay. Got the bow, the crossbow, the mace, the trident. Good color on the trident. You can also see as well the shelves would not be updated, but you can see what I believe is that a diamond. And I can't even take it out. Oh, it's gone. Oh, well. Oh, well, I can't take it out now. I think that's a diamond, but for some reason, it won't let me take that out. Fishing rod into the shield, the elytra. We can chuck on a carved pumpkin here as well. Excuse me. Okay, not bad. Not bad. Easy visibility, no surprises, no shocks. That's cool. Up here, I'm not a fan of the end portal here at all. I think this is too noisy, too, like, crazy. They've also changed what the actual portal itself looks like. Very bright. And then we can see the nether portal here. I like the crying obsidian with the blue. I think that's nice. And then the conduit as well. So, yeah, that is the better PvP texture pack in the armory. A lot of blur, a lot of pixelization, but I think a lot of consistency.